Snacking continues to be one of the most robust sources of growth in the packaged food industry overall. If we step back and think about what's driving it, it really starts with consumer behavior. When I grew up, we were anchored to a table eating 3 square meals a day. That behavior has become far less prevalent today. Consumers feel time-starved and always on the go. As a result, the idea of tethering yourself to the table has broken down, lost its appeal, lost its luster, and instead is being replaced by this idea of mini meals, snack on the go, eat and run. Snack foods are driving some of the most robust growth in packaged food overall. In the US, snack foods are growing right now roughly 3%. That's 100 basis points faster than overall packaged food. If we step back and look through a global lens, packaged snacks are growing at roughly 5%. In addition to the broader trend of snacking and increased snacking behavior, there are also a number of sub-trends underneath the surface, reshaping how the snacking phenomenon is playing out. One trend that we're seeing right now is the fade of the sweet tooth and the rise of salty snack preferences. To drill into that a little bit more, we're seeing categories traditionally tethered to sugar, such as candy, mint, gum, or packaged dessert products fade materially. In fact, if we step back just a few short years ago, these are categories that were growing 3 to 4%. Today, they're growing less than 1%. It's been replaced by accelerating growth of savory snacks, in particular salty snacks. Think potato chips, think ready-to-eat popcorn, even think meat snacks like beef jerky. Salty snacks have accelerated to roughly 5% overall, and even more recently, we've seen that growth accelerate to 6 to 7%. Another trend that we're seeing is premiumization. We're seeing on the indulgent side, high-end, super premium brands driving growth. We're also seeing a lot of local craft type brands emerge, tethered to natural and organic and health and wellness attributes, also coming into the market at a premium price point. Part of what's driving the rise of some of these premium brands, which is bringing with it a degree of fragmentation, is the generational transition that's afoot. The millennial consumer cohort is clearly rising in terms of spending importance. Their spending importance is going to rise even further over the next 5 years and 10 years as they begin to form households of their own, begin to form families of their own, and start to push a very big shopping basket down the grocery aisle. The robust growth within packaged snacks has attracted a lot of interest, as it always does. Growth attracts competition. This is proving to be no different. As a result, we're seeing a lot of companies who historically may have not participated in snacks or participate on a relatively small basis look for new avenues to enter the category. Some of this is being done through organic initiatives, extending brands through innovation, but increasingly we're seeing companies deploy their balance sheet to make acquisitions into the space. Over the last 5 years or so, we've seen Kellogg acquire Pringles, obviously a very iconic potato chip brand. We've seen the Hershey Company, who's a legacy snack food company, but clearly with roots deep in chocolate, acquire brands like Pirate's Booty, Skinny Pop Popcorn, Crave meat snacks. So there's been a plethora of activity in this category that's bringing some relatively well-heeled competitors into the space who haven't participated in force there before. As we look forward, we absolutely believe that snack foods are going to remain growth advantaged. They're going to remain a rich source of growth for the industry overall as consumer behavior continues to evolve.